Hey there, welcome back. This week we're talking about the danger of stagnation, stillness, and how to create from it. And honestly, the connection between stillness and stagnation, how stillness can turn into stagnation. So I have some spiritual practices. I have some stillness practices like sitting and meditating or just being in nature. And the result can often be just this way of connecting to a deeper place within me. It feels like a pond or a lake at the bottom of a mountain, right? That calm, clear feeling. You may have been hiking or out in nature and felt that feeling. And there are times when my own stillness practice can actually turn into stagnation, can actually be a way that I get into inertia. And you might be thinking, how is that possible? How can stillness, something that's integral to our spiritual evolution, be a detriment? So I'm going to share with you not only how to catch that, because that is what we fear as human beings, right? Being in inertia. So we're going to talk about how to catch that, how to get out of stagnation, and how to recognize when you're in stillness and then create from it. Create your whatever it is that you desire, right? So if you get that from this video, I want you to subscribe below and be sure to check back every week with what we're talking about and how we're building on this topic and so many others. So this week, first we're going to start with what is stillness? Stillness is that way of being in the world. Pre-toddler, right? Where we would just sit and just look around. You can see very young children just looking around, taking it all in, being in awe and wonder and joy. That's our inherent way of being in the world. Or you can also see this in very old people, elderly people, right? People who they may eat slowly, they may move slowly. And often it's not because they're impacted by some physical detriment. It's because they're so much more connected to stillness. They're bringing stillness into their everyday practices, like eating. But sometimes, and I'm going to throw myself under the bus here, sometimes my own stillness can get stagnant, like a pond, that's been sitting still for too long and it gets really hot. And then there's algae at the edges, right? So this is what many human beings fear. They fear that nothing will get done if they just sit and just be, right? We have a society where we are literally programmed to do more, to achieve more, to get more done, to check things off the list, where we're literally competing with not just each other, but with ourselves and not taking that time to slow down. And there's a detriment. There's a detriment to that. That could be potentially coming home and just feeling so full that we just want to sit in front of the TV or scroll through social media. Now, our unconscious intention might be to realign and come back into balance of our beingness with our humanness. But the end result could be that you feel more anxious after binge watching Netflix or scrolling through social media and getting lost for 30 minutes or an hour or however long. So the question is how do we bring these things back into balance and why? So stillness is brought about by intending to really slow down and just be. And how you do that is actually by taking a pause before you do any practice, including Netflix or going for a run or a walk. Because yes, stillness can be brought into things where you're moving, activities where you are even moving quite quickly. How do you do that? You decide this practice, this exercise is going to bring me stillness. It's like a cellular choice. You feel it in every part of your body. And at the end, I'm air quoting end, at the end, something magical begins to happen. For me, that looks like reconnecting with my light that shines so brightly. It's my purpose to be light in the world. And from that place come clients, relationships, people that I want to be with. So here's what I really want you to get. Stillness is not something to be afraid of. It's not something to be avoided, because the doing can come from stillness. Whatever wants to be achieved happens from that place, from a much more powerful place, because it's a deeper place. It's at your core, our inherent way of being in the world, or the being to our humanness. So that's what I want you to get. Stillness is not to be feared. And when you bring intentionality to it, it doesn't turn into stagnation. It doesn't turn into inertia. You practice this in whatever it is that you do. And I promise you, you're going to start to see results. So here's your challenge for this week. Take something that you're already doing. Okay, it could be, like I said, watching Netflix. It could be gardening or running. And I want you to pause before you take on this activity and ask yourself, how can I bring more stillness into this practice? Whatever it is. And at the end, check in to see how you have done that. How are you more still? And what's coming from that place? What wants to be created from this? That's your first option. Your second option, and this could be an and you could create a new practice. You can turn off this electronic device that you're watching this video, and you can just sit for a few minutes in silence and just be. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 20. Start off slow and see what this stillness brings in for you. Pause again at the end and ask yourself, how do I feel now? What's going on for me here in this place? And I'm really looking forward to hearing how this goes for you. I know you are going to start creating some incredible things in your world, co-creating with your stillness. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it. So reach out directly, comment below, and I'll see you back here next week. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye now.